Hey guys, got another one for you. Got a problem with the oven. Had this oven for many a year. Not as old as most things, appliances we've got in the house. Has already changed it once, but it has been through 3 motherboards. It's on its 3rd one now, but that's not the problem today. Today we have a problem with the top door hinge, and I think it's this left one down here. I'll open it and have a listen. That's not the noise, that's just creaking. There it goes. And up. Okay, and as a result of that, you can see how the oven isn't closing properly. Now, if it wasn't making that noise, that says to me there's something to do with the spring mechanism in here. If it doesn't shut properly but it's not making any noise like that, it's usually because the pressed metal here where the hinges are mounted into, they pull out or they push in. I can't remember which, but you can fix that by just putting like a small block of wood in there, very small, about 10 mil, and then slowly shut the door. And won't shut, well, it'll probably shut about to there, and then you just keep applying a little bit of pressure, and that pressure there will hit against here and pull the door out. So it'll pull this hinge mounting out a bit, and then when you remove the blocks, it should then seal tight if your hinge is okay. But that's not the case today. Today, what I'm going to do is, because this oven works really well, this one, my wife thinks there's something wrong with one of the elements, and this whole oven's getting replaced soon when we renovate the kitchen, so I don't really want to go spend the money on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the good hinges from the bottom one and move it to the top one. But to do that, we're going to get the door off, and that's quite simple to get the door off. Okay, to get the door off, some of them have on the side here, but most of them have a little clip here that you then open up like that. This is an Electrolux. I can't remember the model number, but there's what the top looks like. It's a fairly old one. It's over 10 years old. And with that door in that position and those clips bent backwards, so come up to the door, close it till the hinges or till the door hits those little tabs, and then grab the door from below here and keep going up. And now you can see the hinges are moving. While the hinges are moving, you just got to rock the door forward and try and lift up, and the hinges will just literally come out. And we'll do the same for the bottom one. Yeah, lift up. So push in, hinges moving, and as it's moving up, lift up and keep rotating the door to remove it out. Okay, so oven doors are out. So these doors are both the same size. So to enable my wife to use the top oven, I'm going to put the bottom door on the top oven, because they're both the same. So here we go. To install, it's quite easy. It's actually easier to put it in than it is to remove it. Until it sort of hooks in and then come down, and as you can see, it's in. And now open it all the way, close your tabs down. If for some reason your club tabs are hitting here, don't worry, just do that and then close the door, and if it's not in the right spot, it'll click down into the right spot when you close it. And then you can if they haven't closed automatically, close your little tabs then. So now that's, and you can see that's shutting flush now. Okay, so when your oven doesn't shut properly, it's usually because when you have your oven door down and you put stuff on the door, like you might be trying to swap things around in the shower, you might actually put pressure on the door. And what that does is it actually, because this is there's no the leverage point here is so great on the outside here, you're actually pulling the sheet metal out, so that when you go to shut the door, because its mounting point's out, the door leans out. So it's not the hinge, it's just the mounting point has over time with that, because it's hot too. So when you're hot metal, it relaxes the metal, and a bit of weight on the front, because you've got so much leverage, it will tilt out. So to counteract that, you put a block in there so that when you go to shut it, the block puts pressure on the top there to push it back in, and that then at rest position, the door might be in this position, then pulls it back to that position so it seals on your rubber. Okay, so there we are, and I'll put the other door back down there. Same deal. Now this one is not set properly, it's not going down. I'll tilt you down. As you can see, that clip hasn't gone all the way down, but this one has. So basically now we just shut the door, then to drop down into the right position, and we continue to shut it here. And as you can see, where that door was doing the same thing there as it was doing up here, it's not quite shutting, and that's because of that hinge here. See that? Something wrong with the hinge in there. But that'll be for a later date, or if we could just get by with the single oven now that's working. We'll be good for a while now. My wife will be happy. She'll have one fully functioning oven, that because the top one works well. She has a bit of a problem with the bottom ones, the way it heats up and cooks. So now it's sealing, so the top oven will cook a lot better. And there you go, how to replace, well basically I've shown you how to remove your oven door and how to diagnose whether it's the hinge or just the mounting point that's flexed out too far. And in this case, it wasn't the mounting point, it was the actual hinge that the problem is. So well, most likely if I was going to keep this oven, I would replace that bottom, well now the bottom hinge. But I didn't have a spare hinge, and this will get us out of trouble for the short term anyway. Alright guys, thanks a lot. Please like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.